Big Blue Thumb Productions presents the Podlie Podcast. Here's your hosts, Podlie Bill, Podlie Cliff, and Podlie Paul.
And hello, everybody. It's Epi 154 of the Podlie
Is it actually
Podcast.
154?
Yes, I have to get to the comments here, guys, because there was comments on here before. What the heck?
Look at that business. Y'all are awesome.
Wow. William was in first, 3,500 points. Leslie Ann, second tonight.
2,500 points, just like that.
Yeah. And
Nicole!
William was here 10
Nicole
minutes
showed
before
up.
we even started.
Our girl, our guy, Mr. William.
Yeah.
Love it.
Look at all these
And
comments.
Nicole's here.
Nicole's here. Wow.
What happened?
Do we know you, Nicole?
William Kirkland, the man with the best handle. How you doing, bud?
There you go. And the best first name.
And best handle, man. Okay, best first name. I'll give you that. All right.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear, Cliff. So,
How's it going?
it's going well. How was your guys' week? We're all probably a little busy this past weekend.
We were busy.
Busy past weekend.
We were busy. You know what's really funny is I haven't actually had a chance to think about it and digest until right now.
No.
Until I work and
Yeah.
like, have you guys actually sat back and thought about this past weekend? I
No.
haven't had a chance.
Probably not.
My Sunday was very busy. And
Yes.
Yeah.
today was very busy. So.
Yeah.
You don't mind if I nod off for a bit, do you?
Yeah, right. No kidding, right? No kidding. No kidding. I will tell you, we couldn't have asked for better weather.
Yes, like, Nicole.
Couldn't have asked for better weather.
Nicole says, "Oh, Cliff, you're so funny." Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Bill. I hope you remember me. Nicole.
I
That
got
was so funny at Astro Starkman. It's like no commitment, no dedication.
No dedication. You say that today. You haven't seen her in weeks. You say that today. Look, she showed up.
She showed up.
Yeah, Nicole, you should have heard Cliff off air.
Yeah.
I was-
Now,
Don't-
as soon as you said that, now it's click.
Don't listen to them, Nicole. You know me. I was only saying good things about you.
It was both that, Nicole, and the discussion of Mr. Paul here and the Ravenades he was drinking on Friday.
On Friday, that's right. Yeah, that's the one thing I will say, as what I told you there as well, Nicole. In all honesty, we did, outside of the fact that you should have had some commitment and dedication to show up. We actually missed you. It would have been nice to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed some good music there, Nicole.
You missed the Ravenades, Nicole.
And
And the Ravenades.
Paul didn't miss them.
I was going to say,
I miss them now.
Paul stayed very close to them all night.
I miss them now.
He kept sampling so that the crowd would know they were good.
That's right.
Gin is a beautiful thing.
Gin is a beautiful thing. I like that.
Thank you, Haley.
Haley, not that she ever listens to this podcast,
Haley?
but you know.
Once in a while she jumps in.
She
But,
jumps in once in a while.
you know, how many times did we hear Paul say, "I'm here"?
Hey, Paulie, where are you? Why even ask? He's next to the Ravenade.
Making sure that it's good to go.
Yeah, and if you guys hear me, it's not as bad now, but on Sunday morning when I spoke, only every third word actually came out.
Came out. My voice.
And
And now
gone.
I
You don't
know.
have any voices left.
And now
voice is gone.
I need it today. Like it's all of a sudden I just lose it, right? It's so funny.
Leslie Ann says, "Yes, Nicole, I had to drink Ravenades without you."
Yeah, and she did a fair shot at it too.
Yummy. Yummy.
William, recording Nicole's comment, reading Nicole's comment, the song "Don't Forget to Remember Me."
Carrie Underwood. There we go.
What's your favorite act? What's your favorite act?
You know that? Yeah, that's
Long
it.
Run.
The long
The
run.
long one was your favorite act.
The long run, and who is the trio? The folk rock trio.
The River Poets.
River
The River Poets and the
Yes.
Long Run were my favorite.
The River Poets were probably my favorite. I'm listening to them in the car as we speak. They're as amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Poets are
You're not
amazing.
exactly listening in the car right now.
They're
Yeah, right.
they're
Did you just say he was
amazing.
listening
River
in the car
Poets,
while we speak?
amazing. Too late for the party, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Too late. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, they're good.
Unbelievable.
But my two to pick my two favorites, it would definitely be those two, River Poets and the Long Run.
Yeah.
I think the Long Run, and sometimes it's more than the music, right? Sometimes it's more than the music. Like when you meet the people behind the music and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
And the guys, the Long Run, they're the most humble,
Just nice dudes.
just the most humble people.
Mhm.
And Fact for you guys listening, they have 4 different tribute bands. They're an Eagle tribute band, an 80s tribute band,
Disco tribute.
a disco tribute band, and a country tribute band.
Yeah.
And so the lead vocalist and guitar player,
Ken
Ken,
Polanski.
I was asking him, like, that's crazy. How
That's
do you keep all that
crazy.
stuff in your mind?
Yeah.
And they don't use music sheets. They don't
No.
use cheat notes. They don't use lyric notes,
No.
blah, blah, blah. And I was asking him, how do you manage that? And of course, they can't tell you that. So I'm like,
No.
how many songs is that, dude? I was flabbergasted. And he says he has 216 songs in his repertoire.
That is
Wow.
crazy. That's crazy.
Well, I guess that means we can have them back to Ravenwood at least another 3
At least
times.
4
Another
times.
3
Because
times.
They're all
Three
different,
all
things,
different
yeah.
bands.
different bands.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah.
you meet them and you go talk to these guys, and they're like the nicest,
Yeah.
most humble guys. And here they got up there and absolutely rocked
They
the joint.
crushed it.
They crushed it. I
Yeah.
mean, they could be playing stadium.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
they just crushed it.
They did. I got a really nice message from
Yeah.
Ken actually today. How happy they were with the festival
There you go.
and playing, and how well they were treated, et cetera, et cetera.
God, they must have been
And
speaking about me. So.
They would love to. They'd love to be there again.
Mhm.
You know, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
they were really good. And,
Nice.
got back. And actually, when you asked about the favorite act, it was kind of funny because I had to do an interview for media today.
Mhm.
For the paper, and that was one of the questions they asked.
Oh.
Was, what was your
Favorite
favorite act?
Did you
So
did
I-
you spill the beans?
I did. Well, I did the. If you want to put it, I guess for lack of better words, the politically correct term. I did not spill the beans.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
basically, because in the media, I thought I have to be
Yeah,
fair
you
to
are.
everybody.
Well, because
so I just said
they were
I did-
all amazing. Legitimately,
that's
they
basically
were
what I said.
all
Everybody was
amazing.
amazing.
No
I
doubt
couldn't-
about
I
it.
couldn't really,
No,
throw a favorite act.
Yeah.
Now, here that I'm on the Podlie podcast, I would probably still have to agree. I thought the long run was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were really, really good. I really enjoyed the River Poets. But again, like I said, everybody was really good. Those were just some,
Yeah.
standouts
And-
at times, right?
And just back to the personalities behind the music.
Yeah.
The long run guys, they really interacted with the audience.
I agree.
Right? They
100%.
They had the crowd going.
They had the
everybody
crowd
standing up.
going. They were very appreciative. They thanked their audience so much. They're just like really nice, down to earth people. And
Mhm.
then you add that behind the fact that the music was just freaking amazing.
The harmonies, because those Eagles songs are not hard, are not easy to do.
Dude, they played Seven Bridges Road.
Yeah.
Seven Bridges
Seven
Road
Bridges
with
Road.
the drummer
Mhm.
with the drummer singing harmony.
Yes.
You know who do you think he is? Don Henley?
Maybe he's a long lost brother or
Long
something.
lost brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just quickly want to reach out to Marvin. Hi, Marvin. A big thank you to Marvin as well this week
Marvin!
for all of his photography work. And he also says he's
How
got
do I do this?
2 terabytes of flyover footage.
Oh!
Together. So that's drone footage.
Yeah.
So it seemed every time I looked up in the sky over Friday and Saturday, there was that drone up there.
Marv was
floating
there.
around.
Okay, I gotta ask Marvin. Marvin, dude, do you remember what I told you when I was there? That what I did every time I saw the drone?
Ducked.
Yeah, we know what you did.
Every time I saw the drone, I give him a couple of thumbs up. I give him 2 fingers up, not the thumbs. And I asked him to edit it out, and he said, "No, that's all part
Oh,
of the
that's
festival."
part of the festival. That's festival life. That's what that is.
And you know what, Marvin? This is the one time I'll say it's okay that you droned on and on all
You
weekend.
droned
All
on and
weekend.
on.
All weekend.
Normally, we're not happy with people that drone on and on, Marvin, like us
Yeah.
here on the podcast.
Yeah, we're droning right now.
because we're droning right now. But we really appreciate you droning on and on.
Far be it for us, you guys, the volunteers, you guys, unbelievable. Unbelievable. All the
Yeah.
volunteers this weekend couldn't have happened without you guys. It legitimately
Yeah.
could not have happened without you
That's
guys.
right. And what's the last thing I mean by "Oh Tim"? What did we miss?
I'm not sure, but
OTM.
Nicole was asking for the recipe of the Ravenade from Leslie Ann.
Oh, I see.
But Nicole, so it was Hawk Prohibition Distilleries in Sherwood Park that was supplying us with the gin that we used in the Ravenade. But we have to give credit, I guess, to Haley, who's on our
Haley's
board
awesome.
of the Music Society, but also our bar runs the bar and everything, takes care of all the alcohol. So she's the one who came up with the idea. So I think it was just basically the Hawk Prohibition gin, and then some lemonade and some ice and mixed together. And it gave kind of a nice little purple color. So it's
That's
our
right.
colors.
Yeah.
Because the Rainbow Festival is purple, and yeah,
Yes,
it was
please, may I have another?
And bottom line is, I mean, we think the world of Haley. We think a little bit less of her now that she didn't show up to the podcast.
Talk about no commitment to no.
Talk about
dedication.
no commitment and dedication, right? Sorry, Haley. You know I'm not kidding, right?
And by the way, for those of you watching, of course, Paul is representing some of the Ravenwood merchandise here tonight.
The merch.
We will still have some
This
for
is a
sale.
smoking nice hat, dude.
It is a
There you
nice
I
hat.
love this hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this hat.
Yeah.
Yvonne Brazil messaged me yesterday, Kat Zell's mom.
Yes.
Kat performed as well. Yvonne said that Kat had an amazing time as well.
She did.
Kat's on her way to Nashville.
She is.
She's on her way to Nashville as well. So Yvonne and Kat had a wonderful weekend as well. She messaged me. Yvonne, if you're listening, I will message you back. I apologize. I haven't had a chance to get to that today, but yeah, awesome. Just all amazing things all around.
Yeah, great festival. We talked to, we had some vendors out there as well. And I talked to every single one of them that was selling their work, and they all want to be back next year. They all did pretty good with sales, which is what you want to hear. And they all said they want to be back, which is awesome. Our food trucks did pretty well as well. We had a pretty good selection of food there this year, and they all seemed to be pretty pleased with the way things
Do you have
went.
the fish and chips? You were talking about the fish and chips.
Yeah,
I never got to it.
I didn't get
Never
there,
got to
but Jeff, who's on our board,
Yeah.
he and his wife and family had it. He said it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
There
see,
was
I knew
eating
it and I missed it, right?
and that was same with me.
Yeah. Just
So-
ran out of time. Just ran out of time.
That's what it was.
Good.
Ran out of time.
Because I had the poutine earlier on.
Delicious.
Yes.
And the poutine.
Yeah, and then like from Winston's, the poutine. And then that's what Bill and I were talking about.
Got
Fish and chips.
Yeah, and I had a couple of burgers from Boss Dogs, and they were amazing.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I
Some of
know
the
that.
best food truck burgers I've ever had.
Nice.
Was from-
That's the truth.
from
My
Boss-
son had the
Boss
hot
Dogs.
dog. Rave reviews. Rave
Yeah.
reviews
Yeah.
from my son.
So anyway, some
Cool,
really,
cool.
really good food. So we did have food, not just the bar and the Ravenades that Paul, was doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Quality control.
Quality control.
It's quality control.
Yeah, that's what it was. But anyway, overall, really good weekend. I think even crowd wise for us, it was very good.
Very good.
The Friday night, in looking and hearing from other people that were involved, that Friday total was bigger than our day that we had last year, just in crowd wise.
Yep.
And Saturday, of course, afternoon was a nice sized crowd, but then by the time as we were getting closer to our headliners, Rated R, and of course Sass Jordan, the field started to fill up, and that was
She's so great. Sass is she sassed it up. She's so great. Sass Jordan is so great.
Well,
Wow.
I had the opportunity to pick her up from the
Wow.
hotel on Saturday morning and bring her to the site for her sound check, and including I drove the band as well separately. And
They were such
driving
nice
the band
guys.
in the vehicle was good. So you didn't really get a chance to talk to them too much after the show, but they were really good in the car. Had some fun coming over and
Such
then
nice guys.
picking up Sass Jordan. She was hilarious in the car. She just goes on and just cracking jokes, and she got this huge growly loud laugh, and she was just going nonstop from the time we left. And it's only like a 3-4 minute drive
Yeah.
from the hotel
Yeah.
over to the site, but she was laughing and joking and doing all sorts of stuff. Then Chai from our board was driving them later, so they picked them up. I think she drove them back that afternoon, then picked them up that evening to bring them back. So she got to talk to Sass quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Cool,
More
cool.
so than we did. Art forms, illustration, graphic, and design. That is Suzanne.
That's Suzanne. Yes.
Hi, boys.
Suzanne says, "Hi, boys." And Art Forms Illustration and Graphic Design is her company and her artistic endeavor. So take that name, put it into Google or Facebook, and go find her page. You'll love what you see.
And Suzanne does some awesome caricatures.
Yeah, that's what that
So,
design is, and of
that's
course
what
she
it is,
illustrates as well. But she does on-site caricatures. Yeah, fantastic,
And-
absolutely fantastic.
And she's a busy girl too. She's
Yeah.
popular. Suzanne, you're popular.
She is.
AIGD. So good to see you.
well,
she
and,
should do our caricature.
she did one for me because we had our arts talk one time.
That's right.
And while I was talking, while I was up there in
remember
the
that.
cafe, she did
I
she
do-
did
I
one
do
for us.
remember that. Yeah.
We'll have to have you on. I don't know, maybe the podcast or something, Suzanne. And hey,
Have
Nice.
a game of Pictionary.
nice of you to show up.
Yeah, you can do it. I will draw you 3 ASAP. Does that mean we're aspas? No, as soon as possible.
ASAP. Mhm.
Nice to have you aboard, Suzanne. Nice of you to show up. Appreciate that.
But I have to say it's funny. We all work as a board and get this festival ready every year. Then it comes into that last week. So the week just before our last week, I was, of course, as everybody knows, was in Orlando. Then I come back. We have to go into full festival mode. Thursday.
Yeah, you didn't get much of a break.
Everything is set up.
Yeah.
And then you drive by the field, like even today, I didn't, but I drove by the field today. And of course, it's completely empty.
Bare,
I don't even know we were there.
Yeah, you
and
know
it's just so weird. You go through all that work, everything's set up. And
well, how does that
couple
make
of
you
breaks
okay? So this is your brainchild. How does that make you feel?
No.
Another festival done.
Another one done.
And now the field is empty. How does that make you feel? Two days after, like just a kick-ass weekend. How does that make you feel?
I think again, it's happiness. It's exciting because it was so good, and the amount of messages that we have received in the past probably 24 hours, 48 hours since the festival's over is amazing, and everyone is good. It's from the bands, it's from vendors, it's from people that were there that are sending us messages saying how much fun they had, how awesome the festival was, how good everything went, and everybody's excited about next year. So
cool.
About 2024. So that's what we're looking for is 2024, and looking forward to that. So now we take this little bit of a break as we're doing, and then we'll start planning for next year once we've finalized the bills and get ready to plan for next year.
By the way, Depeche Mode headlines next year.
Who?
Depeche Mode.
Bless you.
Just
You
saying.
didn't take your reactant.
Depeche Mode headlines next year.
Wow. You should take some reaction. He's sneezing all over the place here. Depeche Mode. I was just looking to see what you're wearing. You know,
Paulie,
Bill is my Star Wars.
yeah.
Paulie,
It's
if we didn't torture you, then we'd be torturing other people.
About Depeche Mode.
Well, thank you very
So
much.
Paul, take one for the team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, you should be there next year. We could have you doing caricatures at the festival.
Yeah, Suzanne.
Suzanne, why don't you do that next year?
That's a good idea.
Suzanne, you're hired.
Yeah, there you go. That's a really good idea.
And we'll make it mandatory for everybody to get characters.
Charlie just came on, who takes care of our overall festival budget, and she says not in the budget. Molly.
Shoot!
Yeah, what she means not. She doesn't mean
Shoot!
Suzanne. She means that what's that brand?
Depeche
Depeche
Mode.
Mode.
That's what she's talking about is the band.
Not in the
Yeah.
budget, Paulie. Depeche Mode is not in the budget.
Yes.
Thank you for your service, Paul.
Leslie Ann, I got a funny story for you. Can I share this? I told you
because I
this.
said when I was torturing him, I'm leaving other people alone.
I told you that. Can I? So we're at the. I got to tell you this because I have Leslie Ann. Before this weekend, I've seen you in person one time. That was at.
So are you saying she's not memorable? Is
That
what
was
you're saying?
at. No, hang on. That was at.
Wow.
When was the last time? The Rec Room. That was the first time I'd seen her. Leslie Ann, I'd seen you in person the first time. It was the Rec Room. What was that? About a year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
I don't know.
So then there's this woman this weekend that's dancing with my kids and talking as if she. I'm thinking, who the hell is this woman? It's Leslie Ann. I'm sorry, Cliff. Leslie Ann, I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you. I'm sorry, Leslie Ann. Leslie
funny,
Ann,
I
I love you.
I got the same thing. On Friday, I was walking around seeing this guy with his hat on and drinking these Ravenades.
The
Who the
Ravenades.
heck is this guy at the festival? And I realized it was Paul.
That's evil Ravenade, Paulie, is what that is. That is evil Ravenade, Paulie.
And that could be very well the reason why you didn't recognize the person. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you.
I did not do that. Oh my gosh.
Look at she gave you a heart.
In my younger years, always party on Saturday nights, right, and everything else. And people would say, "Hey, Cliff, we're going to go to church next morning." I'm like, that'd be really funny because we go to church and the pastor will say, and the Lord be with you, and I'll be like, and also with you.
Alcohol burns, man. You're gonna go up in flames.
And then I'd be like kicked out for sure.
Hey, but actually, I heard a funny story. You didn't hear this. And this is from Leslie Ann and from Mr. Cliff here. So Leslie Ann was telling me this story because she came to hand him a car key on the night. It was Friday night, I think.
Yeah.
And she says, "Here's your car key," because in case he lost his keys. And actually, the reason he got excited is because my daughter China, who was working in the merch tent, was holding on to Cliff's
my
keys
keys
in her backpack, and she was starting to leave. So Cliff was getting worried. He had to go catch her before he lost his car keys. But then Leslie Ann pulls out the spare car key. I brought this, so you know. So then I heard this whole story about how Leslie Ann used to work at Woco, and so Cliff would go over and meet her at the old Woco store for coffee or
pick her up
whatever.
and coffee
And
and
then
all.
he'd
Yeah.
go over to the record department, but every time he went to the record department, he'd forget his keys there. So they'd have to page him on the Woco. Yeah, he'd say, "Would Mr. Cliff Smith please go back to the record department and get your keys?"
Keys every single time.
It started out with them saying, right, whatever. There's a set of keys. We found a set of keys. Please come and get it. And then they figured out that it's always me. So then it's like, attention, please, Cliff. Would you please come to the record department and pick up the keys? Well, because it was albums back then. You put your bloody keys down to pick up the album.
Yeah, because
Right?
you want to look at the
You
back,
bet
and
you
you're
do.
checking the
And
cover.
bet you
Yeah,
do.
we're-
And I was too cool with tight jeans on to put a big wad of keys in my pocket, right? That always looks like crap, right? So I didn't. So I'm gonna put the keys somewhere, and everybody's like, "Put the keys in your pocket." Hey, tell you funny. The other funny story with keys. One time I'm walking through Walmart. Anybody who knows me knows that if you're walking through any store with me, be prepared to catch, because I'm always throwing shit at you, right? It's like I'll be walking and I'll pick up whatever, just throw it behind me, and whoever's my friend back there, they're like, "What the hell?" And they catch it, right?
Or if they go to a shopping cart, it just lands in there, and they
It
go,
lands in
"Hey,"
there.
and that's what is this?
So I'm always throwing something. And so one time I'm in there roaming around quite late at night with Leslie Ann and a couple other people. I'm throwing my keys up and catching, throwing my keys up and not paying attention. I throw my keys up. It lands on one of the the rafters,
Oh,
and lands on top of the rafter. And so I'm like, throw the keys up. I was like,
They didn't come down.
they didn't come down, right?
What the hell happened to gravity?
So I'm like, what the heck? So now the keys are there. It's like, wonder what I should do about this.
Wow. Leslie Ann, I'm not sure if this is the right kind of show for this. She says the tight jeans will win.
And they've been married ever since.
Ever since. All because of the tight jeans.
Apparently, I'm going shopping tomorrow.
But yeah, it was so funny because then I had to call somebody over and say,
My keys are up there.
my keys are up there. And every person you talk to, they have to go get somebody else. They have to go get somebody else. And everybody comes, the what?
Yeah, what did they bring up
My
there?
keys are up there. And
Oh
then,
my
and then they look up there, and then they look at me, and they look up there, and they look at me.
Why are the keys up there?
It's so funny.
Oh.
Just kills me. I'm such a fidget. I talk about ADD, right?
Walking through the store juggling.
It's just crazy. Keys, me and keys, man.
Now, what kind of were they? What were your jeans? Wranglers? What were you wearing?
Oh, back then,
That were, like,
Levi's.
painted
Levi's 501s, baby.
Yeah, 501.
Yeah, you had to take the hanger and put them on in the morning. Yeah, I'm putting these on for Leslie.
Putting these on.
Can't breathe, but
Yeah.
I'm putting them on.
And Suzanne so eloquently has vocalized her opinion.
TMI. That's probably right there, Leslie.
TMI.
It's like
You
the whole,
speak for everyone, Suzanne, when you say TMI.
See, they're pulling the speedo.
this is Mr. I'm not wearing pants telling them this TMI.
Can't say it's either Paul in his speedo or now it's Cliff in his tight
Oh,
jeans.
man.
Like, type the jeans. That's a Conway Twitty song.
Yeah,
Oh,
Too
I'm losing my voice. But now I'm back.
we're not gonna have a voice by the end of the show. Sorry,
Too
my,
funny.
my wire was caught there for a second.
Too
Yeah, that's TMI right there.
TMI.
My wire was caught.
You're talking
Oh,
Trying to get
God.
Okay, where's Laura?
Tight jeans and wires, baby.
we need-
Tight jeans and wires.
We need Laura back to keep us on track.
Nobody make a zipper comment.
Here again. She, yeah.
Nicole, tell your sister if she had any commitment or dedication,
Oh man.
she would be here keeping us on topic.
And speaking of topic,
Speaking
And
of
speaking of
topic,
topic, we have one.
we did think this actually came from a discussion we were having on Sunday. William says, "Oh Lord."
oh Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, man.
Oh man. That's too much
we have
fun.
some pretty tight comedy here.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So we were at the site on Sunday, of course, for cleanup, and so Cliff and Paul and some volunteers and Chai and a bunch of us were there to get the site cleaned up, and we started having this conversation. because I think Laura brought it up actually. She
Right.
made mention that she went to the Nickelback show on Saturday night and how excited she was when they played their encore.
Right.
So then we started having the discussion, we're like, why do bands play encores?
Encores.
Why do they do their whole set? And then, as you would say, Cliff, they walk off stage, the lights go down a little bit, you know they're coming back out, and the crowd starts chanting
And they're
cheering.
like 5 feet off the stage.
Yeah, and you know they're going to come back out because they haven't played their number 1 hit or number 2 hit. So you know they're going to play them that night.
Yeah.
Why do you have to have an encore? Why can't they just play the show right to the end and wrap it up?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I'd love to hear some opinions out there because for some odd reason I have a strong opinion about this. I don't know why. I don't know why it's a strong opinion.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from our viewers. What
Even
they
the
think.
acts. We were at Beaumont Blues and Roots Fest with Finger 11. Even the acts. Even he was saying, "Well, so this is the encore," and even he was making fun of the damn encore. He's like, "Well, gee, what should we play?"
Oh, seriously, eh?
What should we play?
Well, you gotta
right?
play your hit.
Well, obviously,
Yeah.
right? It's their number 1 hit, right?
Yeah.
Paralyzer. So,
Yeah.
but it makes no sense.
and
It is the silliest tradition, live music tradition in the world.
And we had Sass Jordan actually do it at our festival.
Oh yeah,
So
oh, yeah.
she finished 15 minutes before her
Yeah.
set time was to be over.
And then came back
off
on.
stage, they kept the lights just in a nice blue, got the crowd going a bit, and then she came on.
She came back on again.
Yeah,
And
make you believe her.
So okay, so in let's say, not that she's defending for me, but in defense of Sass Jordan and people like her and artists like her,
Mhm.
now it's a tradition. So if they do give everything, finish the set, they have nothing left. Not that any would not have
And
anything left.
don't come back.
And then don't come back because it's so ingrained in our
Mhm.
concert going psyche,
Mhm.
right? So for them, it seems like they have no bloody choice. As far as I'm concerned, they'd probably just as happy to do the whole thing and go
and be done.
And be done with it.
it, right?
Yeah.
But now the audience and the concert going public seems to be so ingrained. There seems to be so entrenched, I should say, is a better
Yeah.
word, that maybe the artists think they don't have a choice. But yet some artists, they're like, they don't do an encore. They're up and gone. And even on Friday night, there was some audience members, and I felt really bad for them.
Yeah, we're asking for an encore
From the Eagles, from the
long
Eagles,
run.
from the long run. And there was 2 beautiful women on the thing there, being very nice, not being rowdy and nothing. Just say, hey, come on, one more song. One more song. But I had to say no because it was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the bylaws would be a problem. And we
Yeah.
certainly don't want to get the Ravenwood Fest in trouble,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we had to shut it down. But they had played majority of the hits. There was maybe 1 or 2 songs they didn't play of the Eagles. But as Leslie Ann says, that's what the long run did. Yeah, so they played their entire set, finished at 11, and we're done. We couldn't go
Boom.
past, even though, as
Yeah.
Cliff said, there were some ladies in the front of the stage asking for an encore.
Yeah, and I felt so
Sure.
bad to say no, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Marv.
read some comments here.
Go ahead.
Les Ann said that's what the long run did. No, played entirely and left. And then Marvin says gives the band a short breather before they really belt it out.
Marv, I have a problem with that one.
Yeah, I sort of do too.
Marv, I have a problem
I do
with
as
that.
well. They're already played 2 hours, so they can't play another couple songs.
And if they didn't belt out that which way they were supposed to belt out, then they're not
From the
giving us.
beginning,
Then they're not
yeah.
giving us the
If
goods.
they
Not
ain't
getting your
belting
money's
it out
worth
from the
at that
start,
point.
Marv, then we
They're not
don't
giving
have
us
our
the
money's
goods.
worth.
I mean, it's a good theory, though, right? If you're talking about a band that, let's say, they have a really, really strenuous song
Mhm.
that is their major hit, then hey, maybe Marvin, you have a point because they can go off stage for a few minutes, warm up the
Have some
vocals,
water.
down a couple of shots of whiskey or something, and come back on it and let it all hang out because they don't mind losing their voice for a couple of days. So, in terms of that, Marvin, I get what you're saying, but I'm kind of with Podlie on this one when he says, hey, listen, they're probably belting it. I mean, I don't think Sass Jordan left anything on the table.
No, she was going hard right from the beginning of the show.
And here's this woman. She's obviously flown how many hours to get here,
Mhm.
yada yada yada. She's not a terribly young person. She got up on stage, pow, just gave it all she got.
She was also battling a bad knee. She had a knee brace on
There
through
you
that
go.
whole show.
Correct.
There you go. So I mean, and she just I mean, she brought it, man. Right? I mean,
But
you couldn't ask for any
Marv,
better.
can you imagine what concert goers, if regular concert goers understood bands to not give it their best until the encore, well, shoot, I'd never see a concert again.
Yeah.
I'd never see a concert again.
Yeah,
You know,
they saved it all for those final two
then guess
songs.
what? It's pointless me coming for the 2 hours, and I'll just come for the encore.
Now, Suzanne says, I love encores. They feel like a gift to the audience. Bands just need to do everything except their last song and then pretend that it's a bonus song and play it as planned.
Yeah, but Suzanne, I guess that is precisely my point. It's a pretend. There's nothing authentic about it. They don't play their best song or songs. They don't play it. They go off stage knowing full well that the audience is going to call them back. The audience watches them go off stage, starts clapping because they know full well that the band is going to come back. So it's inauthentic to me. And honestly, that's my biggest actual problem with it, is the inauthenticity of it.
Yeah, that's what I agree
Right?
with. Yeah.
I have this sort of thing, not that I can always be that way, but I try to be as authentic as I can be. And when it's not authentic, when other people are not being authentic, or whatever the case may be, it affects me negatively in some way. Okay, so, and before I go any further, I would like to say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the middle of the podcast.
We haven't heard that for a while.
There we go.
And what I would say too, now, is it, for some artists, a stroke of the ego? Because
I would think so.
Some artists, some bands, I'm not saying all bands and all artists, but I think some of it's that stroke of the ego when they stand off, like you said, 6 feet off stage, and they hear the crowd
and it goes
chanting
nuts,
their name,
right?
And not going to do it, and not going to go on until they have the level loud enough where they feel that.
And then they come back on and do the big wave.
I'm with you, Cliffy. Doesn't it's that there's no authenticity to it.
I guess what I'm saying, what Nicole said, like what she says is, she said, that was the middle of the podcast. She says, all right, Cliff, we missed that. Nicole, you're so sweet. That's what, like, I get what you're saying, Suzanne. I really do. But if everybody knows what's going to happen, and it happens consistently time and again, then it doesn't feel like a gift to me. It literally feels like I'm getting snowed, because they leave, and if I don't clap, what are they going to do? Just suppose, for argument's sake, they leave, and I'm like, I get up and go. And I hate to break it to anybody, but I'm actually like that. When they go up the stage, I've waited for very few encores in my whole life. This is nothing new for me. So it doesn't feel like a gift to me.
What, you mean you didn't wait for the Counting Crows encore?
No. The good thing is they didn't finish the show because Matchbox 20 came after.
Came on, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
So I know it's I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but I'm just curious.
No, but I totally agree. There is, for me, and for the amount of concerts I've seen in my life, which is a ton, it loses its, like you said, it's not authentic. It just when the show is over and I know, here we go, the lights are going to sit here and you got to sit. I'm not doing, and I don't singing and yelling. I'm waiting because I know what's happening.
I never do that.
For all these people are screaming and yelling because they want to hear the hit song. Well,
for sake of argument, the bands are looking for a climax. The bands are looking for a climax. They're looking for that. They're looking for that high. That high. What's the next alternative? So I agree with you. Do all of your stuff. Get on. Be gone. Be done. I agree with you. But the bands are also looking for the crowd to leave on a high. What's the alternative?
Ladies and gentlemen, fine people everywhere, you've been waiting for these last two songs. And I tell you what, would you please put your hands together and help us make it the best performance ever?
See, I agree.
I agree.
The audience is going to get the same high if you're playing those two songs that not as encore, but if you're playing
and especially
instead of waiting for 15 more minutes.
Listen, one of the encores. This is going back a lot of years. I'm sorry to bring this up, but Cliff Richard. I was named after him. He's a UK. He's an Anglo-Indian guy, and he's a singer in the UK. He was top, like, absolute. He was like Elvis of the UK.
He was big.
He came to India when I was still in India. I was quite small. He came to India and he played at this theater called the Regal Theater, and it's unbelievable. What a fantastic concert, even for a young person like myself. And then all the band left. He took his guitar. He put his guitar down and leaned on the stalk, and he said, I can't remember the exact words, but thank you for coming so much. And he said, I would like to do just one last song for you. And he sang Amazing Grace a cappella.
Oh,
let me tell you something. You want a reward from an audience? You know what the
That's
reward
it.
was? Silence.
Yeah.
At the end of it, everybody was left stunned. And then a couple of seconds or however long it is,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the crowd just roars. Well, guess what? Cliff Richard's nowhere to be seen. He's done.
Yep.
Right?
That's all
So,
they need to do.
I think if a band said, ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting all night to hear what is probably your two favorite songs.
Two favorite
Yeah.
songs.
Right?
Mhm.
And what we want to do is we want to play those for you. And if you allow us to play that for you, we would appreciate you make the most noise and let's get out of here with a bang.
For me, what it does a lot of times, especially even now, is it kills the momentum for me because you've got all the energy from the show and
Yep.
it's going bang, 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 and you hear that, you know, they come to this end and now you got to sit here for 5-6 minutes while the crowd's cheering and they're not
See-
coming on stage.
Yep.
So I've just lost the momentum at that point. Where if you just played those hit songs right at the end, that momentum's still going. The adrenaline's there. You're having fun. You're still excited.
Right.
But then it's like taking it away.
I agree.
And
I
Bill,
agree.
like the band, by the end of the show, before the encore, you as a festival, you as a concert goer are probably exhausted.
Yeah.
You're
100%.
probably exhausted.
Because I give it
just
show.
like the band.
That Polly,
Right?
that's a fantastic point.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm done,
toast.
you guys. My throat is gone. I'm
Yeah.
going like this. I'm battling people from.
Yeah.
Yep, you're
You know,
jumping straight
I am
up and down.
done after a show, you guys.
Polly, that's
The last thing I want to
Yeah.
freaking do is do 5 more minutes of this to hear my two favorite songs.
and then how are you going to get energetic again, right?
Like,
Yeah, like I
I'm
said, the
done.
momentum's gone at that point.
Those both of your points are smack on, absolutely smack on.
But first of all, Marvin says playing with fire, who was on our Friday night
Hi,
festival.
Jeff.
Right? Is that Blues
Jeff
on
Allen, my
White?
buddy,
And then
playing with fire.
Cliff Nicole says, and I'll put
Yeah.
this up on the screen here.
But Nicole, it really truly was an amazing Saturday. Nicole, dear, I missed you.
We haven't been able to do that for a little while.
I
either.
know.
Oh, I didn't miss
Do you
you.
want an encore of that?
No,
We're going to wait for a few
Do you want
minutes.
an encore?
Start clapping, Paul.
Because the no encore is unanimous.
Okay, so I think we should start a new trend. However many people listen to the Podlie podcast and maybe agree with us, I don't know what Suzanne thinks of our comeback to what she said. I understand what you're saying, Suzanne, but if people agree with us, I think we should start a petition, kind of unlimited petition that goes around, and let's see how many signatures we can get, and maybe perhaps, just perhaps, there's a lot more people that agree with us than we
Don't want
know.
encores. That's a great idea. So, hey, what would happen if tonight, say at 8:50, 10 to 9, we say good night, and I'll just
Hey.
take us out of the live stream for
4 minutes, yell on and clap. We'll come back for the last 6.
And
I love
and
it.
we'll wait for all of our viewers with comments, hand clap emojis, and
Thank you and good night. Thank you and good night.
and then we'll come back.
Peace
And we'll
out.
come back
But you know what?
to our
But-
favorite
but I'm
comedy
gonna-
jokes.
But you know what? I'm going to stand right here.
Yeah, we'll
I'm gonna
just
stand right here, guys.
We're all gonna be off
I'm
on
gonna, you better talk. You better clap because I'm going to be right here.
Bill wins the idea of the night. Bill wins the idea of the night.
Oh, man.
That would be so funny. Yeah. Hey, everybody, Bill gets 4,500 points.
Oh, finally, I got
That's
points on this.
That's
This
awesome. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Suzanne
my
Oh,
says-
Suzanne says.
Tell me ahead that there'll be no encore. Kill the last song and stay for the extra bows.
Oh, yeah, that could do.
Okay, tell me about there will be
Yeah,
no
that's
encore,
what,
kill the
yeah, that's what we were
yeah.
saying, right? Say it's the last song,
Yep.
stay for the bows. You know what, Suzanne?
Yep.
I like
Yep.
that because I think even me, even the one who says I don't clap for encores and all that type of stuff. If the band says, "Hey, this is our last song," like we were talking about, and they end on this beautiful whatever, either a slow song or a nice fast song, whatever it is the hit is, and they stood there and thanked the audience until the audience stopped clapping. I think that's the same high for the band
Again, and same high for the audience.
and
Like, I
same
don't-
high
I
for
don't-
the audience, right?
I don't get it. Like I said, it just, and I know that Laura, who's not here, is saying, "Oh, but I really enjoyed the Nickelback encores.
Yeah.
That was so good. They, played my favorite hit songs or whatever the songs they were that they.
Yeah, but
played
they
in
were
the
not-
encore.
just like they did for the first 2 hours.
But they were
Yes.
not going to play their major
And
hit.
they weren't. They,
Of course, no band
It's not going to play their
going
favorite
to
hit.
show up and play that because everybody's paying to hear those hits from those bands, right?
100%.
And if all of a sudden the band leaves and they go, "Well, they didn't play my favorite
Yeah.
song."
I mean, if you're talking about, unbelievably successful groups like, the Rolling Stones,
Yeah.
Paul Simon, all these people, they have an unlimited amount of songs that they can choose from for the encore,
oh, they got
right?
50 years.
So in terms of that, and I think that's where this originated, right? It's like, the artist got up there, sang an hour and a half, whatever, and he's like, "Oh, come on, one more song." Nobody was expecting the hit. They just wanted one more song because they liked the artist,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then the artist came out and did another song. And sometimes it was an original song, I bet, that nobody'd heard
Oh,
before.
probably.
But then it became this, we'll hold off and not do our hit until the end.
Yeah.
And that's the inauthenticity part from both audience and stage and the person on stage that really sort of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. And what would happen if the artist decided to say, "Okay, I'm coming out and doing an encore, but I've already played the hits." So they do come out and they play a song that nobody's familiar
That
with.
nobody's familiar
I'm
with.
going to play a brand new song for you that we just wrote.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my encore.
In the
On
old
a
days,
bar napkin
I think in the
the night before.
I think in the past, I think maybe that's how encores began, right? People just wanted a little bit more, like, "Come on, man, this
Sure.
is great, come on out," right?
Sure.
You know,
But
we've got
now-
2 hours, we just want another 20 minutes. We don't want this to end.
But
right?
now it's a thing. It's a normal. It's a normal thing, right?
Mhm.
I think if it was me, if I was ever a star on the stage, I would play the last song and say, "Thank you for coming. More importantly, thank you for leaving. Now get out."
Yeah.
Closing time.
Closing time.
Closing time.
Yeah, I'm on the road. I got another show tomorrow night.
That's
so
right.
Thanks so much for coming. And
Yeah, more importantly, thanks for leaving.
yeah, thanks for leaving.
So before we go on, guys, and before I forget, it cannot be understated. The crescendo music this past weekend were amazing. That is one of my favorite parts of the Ravenwood Music Festival.
You
and
mentioned
they
that,
did
the
not do
young
an
people.
encore.
Unbelievable.
Because they played till the end of their
Unbelievable.
set. Played really well.
I don't want to use the word amateurs because they're just so not. They're just so not. They're the ones that play for the passion.
Yeah.
They're the ones. Oh, they were so good.
Those kids.
They
are
were
so
so good. They were so
yeah,
good.
definitely a big shout out to the
big
crescendo.
shout out to crescendo, guys.
Yeah, and now
so good.
these young people. I tell you what, man. I mean, I said this in the MC thing and all. These people are the future of this community, and I tell you, that's a bright future when it comes to art and music.
Big
Cannot be understated how good
Yeah,
they were this
they're
weekend.
really
Good time. So you're going to a big show in November, of course, with that band.
I'm going to a few.
Depeche.
I'm going to a few in November. I'm going to see Kiss too.
Kiss
are
too.
you?
There's,
I wanna see
there's,
Kiss.
there's a
Kiss
sequel.
Alive too?
I'm going to see Kiss.
There's a
and-
sequel.
Yeah, it's
Like
Kiss
Kiss
Alive
too?
too. It's like
Kiss
it's
too.
the second live
Kiss
album
squared.
they did.
I want
Well,
to see Kiss in November. I want to see Depeche Mode in November.
so now obviously Kiss is the big ultimate performance band. That's how they've made their living. Yes, they have some really good songs. I have most of all the Kiss albums, but of course, encore is a big thing for them. I'm
Huge.
assuming Depeche Mode will do. What will Depeche Mode play for an encore?
Probably just can't get enough.
Can't
Probably
get
Personal
enough.
Jesus.
Mhm.
Probably Enjoy the Silence.
So it's
Probably
quiet
personal.
then.
Yeah, probably Personal Jesus, and probably just can't get enough.
Enjoy
I got
the
that.
Silence,
No,
sure
I
you
got you.
don't.
I got you.
We like to play.
I got
Enjoy-
you. They'll
we like to
probably do
enjoy
Ghosts again. They'll
Silence.
probably do Ghosts again as part of their encore,
That would be interesting. They just
which
all
is
stand
from their
there.
new album. That's what they'll probably do.
What are you doing?
So-
We're enjoying the silence.
So let me ask you this: if a mime was performing,
How does mine do an encore?
if a mime was performing and they went off stage, would you go like this?
Isn't that a seal?
Oh my voice! I'm losing my voice. I can't even talk. And Marvin says he plans because Marvin. Just to reiterate, Marvin did all the droning on. He constantly droned on all
Yes, he
festival.
did.
Marvin droned on, but he says he's planning to putting on something special together for the crescendo
Love
music groups. Hey, that's great, Marvin.
Love it.
Man.
I love what Leanne and Dean are doing over there. Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
Beauteous.
Yeah, going on very, very well. So
Going on.
we haven't heard a whole lot from our listeners. Some have
Yeah.
said that Suzanne said she kind of likes encores, but we haven't really heard from, Leslie Ann.
Yeah.
You like encores?
Yeah, and Nicole. Yeah,
Yeah, you just said
Yeah.
yes with capital letters after we did the Saturday. Which
Saturday thing,
I
that's it.
saw. Do you want an encore of that?
No. Nicole, type NO exclamation.
That'll be toward the end of the show when
for me,
we
please.
come back for our encore.
We'll come back.
That's what you're all waiting for. We won't do it now.
Wait a minute. You know the good evening and welcome to the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to move that to the end now.
Yes.
For the encore. Yes.
To the encore.
Okay, the encore.
Yes.
There we have our two encores.
As soon as we come back home, we'll do the Saturday, and then we'll go good evening and welcome to the end of the
All right,
podcast.
so we just
Now, please piss off.
So we definitely will be wrapping at about 9:50, 9:55. And as I said, fill the comments up that you want us back.
Can't see me.
Good evening and welcome to the end of the podcast. That's awesome.
That's a great encore.
Thank you. Good night.
That's the new shtick.
That's perfect.
Oh my god.
Because you know everybody's going to be waiting for that. So,
Well, it's so funny, right? Because the regulars, it's such a silly little thing. But all the regulars, they watch the clock.
they want that.
They watch the clock furiously, right?
Yeah.
Cliff.
Everybody goes,
Cliff.
It's such
Cliff, it's time. Right in the middle of a serious
Right.
conversation, trying to make a serious
I know.
point. It's Cliff, it's
It's
time.
such a silly little thing to get it so much fun, right? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
William says, I like encores if they are promoting a new song that's soon to drop, but that happens rarely.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It happens on occasion, William, but yeah, you're right. That's pretty rare that does happen, especially with a big named band, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Yeah,
that song's
can you
a
imagine
hit.
if they came out and said, "Hey, listen, we got a new song to drop on you guys."
The crowd would
Yeah.
really be
Oh
wild in a different way.
yeah. I just don't know where it started. Well, I have a suspicion of how it started, but I'm just so surprised that now it's so ingrained in the concert going culture, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. So, Susan, Oscar acceptance speech, orchestra music starting to play.
Get off the stage.
Get the hell off.
Get off the
Thanks,
stage.
and good night.
Your 45 seconds are on. Done. Get the hell off.
Just a sec. We
I
just
don't
want to.
care if you didn't have time to thank your mom, but get the hell off.
Yeah, when they're into that third encore, and they're just about to do the guitar solo, and the stage goes dark.
They're done. Here, it's like your baseball. You're out of here.
You're out of here.
3 strikes, you're out. That was 3 encores, you're out of here.
It'll be funny. You know the stages that come out from the floor.
Yes.
You know the band's on there playing slowly. The
You can
stage
show it
goes.
like, and they're all trying to tippy toe while we're playing this song.
They hold up like this.
The guitar player's holding his guitar up here, trying so you can still see him.
Oh my god! You missed me. Okay, that's crazy.
Oh, man.
That could
All right.
happen.
I think we've had 4 or 5 really busy days, so now we got the damn giggles.
It must,
That's what I think.
it must be.
We've done a lot of laughing on this show, but I think this one takes the cake.
Oh,
And that's what we're going to do with the encore. We'll come on here and just keep laughing.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, we're trying to think of an encore. I'm watching the time, everybody.
I'm watching
This
the
show's
time.
wrapping up in a couple
Watching
minutes,
the time.
but don't go away.
Lesson says, remember Paul Simon played Call Me Out twice. Lesson, but in fairness, that was not the encore. What happened was he played the Call Me Out, and all the kids, like the young kids, rushed right up onto the stage,
Mhm.
and they were dancing, and everybody stood like whatever the Coliseum held, 19,000 people,
Right.
jammed to the rafters, not a single seat available.
Where was this? In New York?
No, in Edmonton.
I was here.
And they all sort of swarmed the stage, and then the front of the stage, and then he finished it, and you could almost see the crowd kind of go. And he goes, "Oh, you like that?" Eh? He said, "Do you want to hear it again?" And I swear, not a single solitary person thought that he was actually going to play it
I'm gonna
again.
play it again.
And he had his batons in his hand, and he
Love
went turn around to the back, 18-piece band back there,
Love
right? And all of a sudden, boom, we were on again,
Love it.
and it was fantastic. So yeah,
Nicole says this has
Love it.
honestly been missed. Leslie Ann
Love
says,
it.
haha, Suzanne. But hey,
Love
what,
it.
no,
Well, hey,
hey,
Nicole, aim better
hold on,
than.
hold on, but
Nicole.
we're gonna try this. We're gonna see how this works. So we're coming up with about 5 seconds. I'd like to say goodnight. It's been a great podcast. You guys have
Thank you very much.
You guys have been wonderful. You guys have been really. We're back. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the
Welcome to the encore.
Podlie. Okay, Podlie. Welcome to the encore of the podcast. Podlie gets 3,500 points for that one. Welcome to the encore of the podcast.
This is oh dear.
Podlie. Yeah, okay, so you got 4,500. He deserves 3,500 for that one.
Jesus, I'm crying over here.
I know, me too.
Oh my God.
Oh my Lord, listen.
Laura goes, well, I'm late. Yes, Laura, you are late.
Oh,
You
Laura.
got here for the encore.
You got him for the
You got here in time for the encore, Laura.
You got to jump for the
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm crying.
Good evening,
Holy
ladies
cow.
and gentlemen, and welcome to the encore. Oh my Lord.
Let's wait.
Oh my Lord.
Oh,
What did Leslie say?
it's getting.
They moved the middle to the end.
You guys just perform an oxymoron.
Oh my Lord, this chases me.
Hey, that is the first time in episode 154 of doing this show we've ever had an encore. Thank you, everyone, for the encore.
And I
my
have
gosh.
tears in my eyes from laughing.
Are you all still clapping? That's what I want to know. Are you all still clapping?
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
That
Oh
was
my God. That was funny.
Encore, it's the after party.
Oh.
Marvin says, William goes Lord again. Nicole comes down to one piece.
Oh man. I don't think I've laughed this much on a Monday night in a very long
Now,
time.
Nicole, is it you guys that are going to pee yourselves because you're laughing? Or
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever laughed this much on a Monday night. It's like, why a bloody Monday
Have
night?
we even said anything? Have we even said
it's been such a good encore.
Oh my goodness me.
Oh.
Laura, you're gonna have to go back and listen to this. Don't worry about it. It's one whole hour of laughter.
Don't worry about us. We're okay. We're okay. We're delirious.
Laura's clapping nonstop right
We're
now.
delirious. Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm so glad you guys showed up today. That's awesome.
Oh, now they're
And
clapping
then there's
more.
William.
We usually only do one encore. That's about all we can handle. We put all our energy into the
Shit, I
full
kid you
show.
not. I'm crying.
Oh man.
Oh God, that was
Yeah,
funny.
no kidding.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, you guys, it's funny. Oh. Woo!
Good evening and welcome to the encore. I need my jump kid. Podlie.
Let's go on a t-shirt.
I think hey, wait a minute.
Stand side by side. Good evening, welcome to the middle of the podcast. Good evening, welcome to the encore.
Grab the tissues. It's a sad show. Nicole. It's a sad show.
Oh, look what Leslie Ann says. Leslie Ann said everything.
I'm worried they're actually here.
Well, Leslie and friends, welcome to the encore.
You guys didn't read that. Leslie Ann says, I invited some new friends for tonight. Now I'm a little worried that they might have actually showed up.
Well, we welcome to the encore. It's good that they're here.
Oh my Lord.
Nicole says, be sure to hit the like
Be sure to
button.
hit the like button, everybody. Jeez.
Leslie Anna, LOL, and
Oh man.
Nicole.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Well, I gotta
Oh,
I definitely got to work out tonight laughing.
Oh, for
just
sure.
like a concert,
I
I'm
know it.
friggin' exhausted.
I'm tired
I
now.
can't do an encore.
This
I'm
show takes the
done.
energy right out of you. We put it all out there, 110% for you guys.
Oh my God. Jesus, that was funny.
So remember, everyone's signs and symptoms for a good time may include uncontrollable.
Yeah, absolutely, William.
Woo. Well, welcome for joining us for an hour. We did absolutely nothing but laugh.
What do we do next?
What do we do for encore?
Welcome to the second encore. Leslie Ann's friends, we're back. We're back, Leslie Ann's friends.
Yeah, we're back.
Don't blink an eye.
Oh God.
This could go on a while.
Are we getting a standing ovation by the viewers? I'd like to know that. Are you? Yeah.
Oh, for criminy sakes!
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
if this is somebody's first time listening to the Podlie podcast, this could be an issue.
This could be a problem. Oh.
Laura, I love to laugh loud and strong and clear. I love to laugh something. Something. Sound of music.
Oh, Sound of Music, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, you made Polly cry. Yeah. So what does Leslie Ann say? She says if
all three of them are completely exhausted, that's why the giggles. So glad they kept this date, despite how tired they are.
yeah, I think so. We're all pretty.
Yeah.
I had a long day. I don't know about you guys, but
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I had a family thing last night after we finished in the field. I had a family thing till about 9 o'clock. Had to put the kids to bed. I was up for work this morning.
Yeah.
Kids have the last week of school. So, but we thought it was important to get on this real quick after the Ravenwood experience. So we didn't want to wait too long. So, and we're very happy that we didn't. Obviously, we're very happy that we didn't.
Yeah, I just need I just need tissues provided from now on.
I do too.
Laura
My
says
God.
she made a mistake. It wasn't the Sound of Music. It was from Mary Popping.
Very popular.
Oh man! Wow.
It's Mary Popping. It's Mary's popping right now.
Suzanne, what was the topic again?
What?
Encore,
What was
Suzanne.
the topic? What was the topic again?
Would you like to do another encore?
What are we doing here?
I don't think bylaw will let us go past 9 o'clock.
Oh man. Oh man.
And Nicole, thank you for that as we wrap up here tonight. She says, thank you so much for sharing all about Ravenwood with us. You guys are truly amazing, and we are so missed for the last couple of weeks. Thank you so much.
Oh, we missed you, Nicole. It's happy you're back.
good
And
to
you
be
know what?
back in our
I know you guys are setting up your stuff at the lake and all, and looking forward to coming, scamming a coffee off you guys one of these days. So we understand. Hopefully next year it'll work out for the Ravenwood end. But there's no excuse for Monday nights, just so you know, whether you're at the lake, whether you're out working, doesn't matter. No excuse, right? So we expect you on Monday nights,
And
right?
that's why you have devices, phones, tablets, whatever
That's
the
right.
case might be.
Yeah.
You could tune in at 8 o'clock. You bet.
Okay, you guys, it's been a particularly fun Monday podcast. Must Listen Monday just got slightly must listener. We really appreciate you guys showing up. We appreciate all the laughter and fun and all that type of stuff. And I always say this, I speak for the three of us when I say that this podcast would definitely not be anything without you guys. So thank you so much for being here. And hey, you know what? This might be a good podcast to share, or it might not. I don't know. But nonetheless, we would like to increase the audience a bit, and that'll provide us more fun in the chat. So if you get a chance to do that, and of course, Sound Sugar Radio, Bill.
Sound Sugar Radio. So if you just want to tune in because maybe you can't view it for some reason,
Just the audio.
soundsugarradio.com, Friday nights at 10 o'clock, or go back to the YouTube channel and you can watch it all over again with all of the comments. So do that for us as well. And hey, it's been great. Fun episode of 154. We will be back next week. And ladies and gentlemen, this time we are saying good night. We are
No encore.
No encore.
We're out.
We are done. We will see you all next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Stay
Bye,
happy.
everybody.
Bye.